Welcome into Overtime Debate. I'm Michael.
I'm Josh, and let's get into our discussion for today. Who's the best team in the NFL right now? You got a lot of top teams up there, and let's see, what's your decision?
Well, through week 13 this season, I think it's going to be the Cowboys. But they have a lot of questions on their team. Their record is kind of one. They've won 10 straight games. But I still have a lot of questions with their defense. They haven't been playing that well. They're really weak. They don't have a really good pass rush. And then when you look at the Raiders and look at the Patriots, they're 9-2. Obviously, they have one more loss, but they look more sound. I think the Patriots are because they have Tom Brady, one of the best offenses, best coach, and they have a better defense than both Oakland and Dallas. Dallas and Oakland have really bad defenses, but right now I'd have to say Dallas just because of the record and how they've been playing with the two rookies.
Yeah, like you said, I feel like you look at this board and you automatically want to say Dallas, but really looking at it, I feel like Oakland is, like you said, more sound right now. They do have a bad defense. You could see that against the Panthers, how they let the Panthers come back after a 24-7 lead. Luckily, Oakland was able to capitalize in that game still and have faith in their offense to get the job done still. And they went on to beat the Panthers, and I feel like they have a lot of momentum and they'll be able to win their division and be a top team in the playoffs. So I'm going to go with Oakland right
now. Our second question here is: will the Cleveland Browns win a game? So the Browns are 0-12. Haven't won a game. They have a bye week this Sunday, and then they're back at it. They have Cincinnati, Buffalo, San Diego, Pittsburgh. They've had, I think, 6 different quarterbacks this season. Their defense is statistically one of the worst. Out of these 4 games, which one do you see they could win?
I can see the Cleveland Browns beating San Diego at home. I feel that all the other teams, they're going to beat the Cleveland Browns. I mean, you got Cincinnati, divisional rivals. They're not going to want to lose. They're already having a bad season, and to make it worse, you're not going to want to lose to the 0-12 Browns in their division. You got Pittsburgh fighting for playoff contention. They're not going to want to lose last game of the season at home. They're not going to want to lose to Pittsburgh. I mean, they're not going to lose to the Browns here, so I feel like San Diego, they're at home, second to last game of the season. I feel like they'll get a win out of San Diego in that one.
Yeah, I agree. San Diego from the West Coast, it's going to be sunny and 70 while they practice all week. They got to fly on a Saturday to Cleveland in December. It's going to be 32 degrees outside. I think maybe Cleveland gets lucky, plays a really scratchy defensive game, and wins a really close one. But out of all the 4, it's really hard to win at Buffalo, especially during this time of the season. It gets cold. They play in the cold too. Pittsburgh will be tough as always in Cincinnati. So 2 divisions. Out of all the 4, I say San Diego. They have to come on a week in sunny weather to the cold weather against Cleveland. You never know, but it's not a really good. They're going to be tanking here for the first pick.
Yeah. College football playoffs. Who deserves to be in? So there's a season in here. What do you think?
Well, if 4 teams get in for the playoffs, and there's been so many discussions and controversy of who should be in. Alabama, undefeated. I think even if they lose, which I don't think they will in the SEC championship, they're in. Ohio State, despite not playing and either getting a chance to win the Big Ten championship, they're in. Clemson, they're going to beat Virginia Tech for the ACC championship, and then Washington and Michigan. That's the big 2, because do you think the winner of the Big Ten championship, Wisconsin and Penn State, gets in?
See, I don't know. There's a lot riding on that game, and I feel that. Both teams have played a really good season, and I feel that. I don't know. It's a tough one. Honestly, I can see Penn State beating Wisconsin in that game, only because Wisconsin, for the most part of the game, was really close against Minnesota, and I feel Minnesota, when you're playing them at the end of the season, they should have put them away early. Minnesota is a good team, but Wisconsin looking for the top 4, I feel that. And they put them away, but late into the game, so that could be nerve-wracking going in later on in the season. And Penn State with a big victory against Michigan State, and I feel that they're riding the momentum wave, and I feel like they could beat Wisconsin and have a good chance at the top 4, whatever would happen with the teams in there.
And there's another question, too. It's, let's say the first 3 teams win, which they probably will. Then you have Washington versus Colorado for the Pac-12 championship. And then they're saying if Colorado wins the 8, they should be the 4, but then you have Michigan. So I think if Washington loses, I think the committee will put Michigan in. Washington will be 5th, and Colorado, it will be either 6th or 7th. But I think Michigan will get in. There'll be 2 Big Ten teams, and it'll be one of the best college playoffs.
It's gonna be a good one. So see. Is Russell Westbrook the MVP this season? Westbrook has led the league in many statistics. Most triple doubles. If take all the players who've done triple double combined, it would be 8. Russell Westbrook also has 8, and that's outstanding achievement in the NBA that you can tell. And what do you think?
Well, I mean, right now, I mean, the numbers he's putting up is just ridiculous. Every single night, he's putting up triple doubles, double doubles. He's leading the league at both of those. It's hard to see for me a player that's putting up these numbers and their team isn't winning. They're only 11-8. So, I mean, I think if he keeps this up, this is just ridiculous what he's doing. I think he'll get it, but even he can win the MVP without the Thunder even making the playoffs, and that'll be one of the first times that ever happens to an MVP.
Yeah, I feel that him as a player putting up these numbers, he's more than willing to receive the MVP award. I feel like he's just he's in a team right now that they got a lot going on with the release of Kevin Durant when he went to the Warriors, and they're all over the place right now. But I feel like Westbrook has stayed where he's always been. I feel like he's not letting any of that affect him, but I feel it's inevitable for everybody else. So he's playing his game, but everyone else may not be doing the same. So it could be like an uneven balance.
It's a really good question. Really weird.
Yep. That's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Overtime Debate, and our next podcast will be December 15th.